Hey folks, Jonathan here. I was getting ready to do the bumper for the truck, and I actually started a video on it, and everything changed real quick, so I'm going to redo the video here and show you what I'm doing, because plans totally changed on what I had going on. Okay, I'll explain it to you. Years back, I've got this other Topkick 94 model, and U-Haul had offered a bumper cover, and it wasn't very much money, and I said, well, heck, I'm going to buy it, just see what it would look like on the other truck. And I bought it, and I tried to put it on the other truck, and it looked terrible. It was too wide, didn't even come close to fitting. And so, of course, I just put it to the side, and I figured, well, I'll use it sometime. The price was so cheap, it was one of the deals where it wasn't worth even attempting to send back. Sometimes U-Haul will have a closeout sales and stuff on the truck parts, and you get something cheap. But anyway, that's that bumper, and I think it's fiberglass. It's thin, but it might not be fiberglass. It might be some kind of other material or plastic or something. But anyway, it's a pretty tough old bumper. It's been around here for 4 or 5 years. Still actually looks pretty darn good to be, didn't get busted or anything like that. It hasn't warped up really bad. It's not no strong, tough bumper, but I'm not too worried about it on this truck, because I'm not planning on doing any off-roading. Hopefully no deer hunting with it. But anyway, I've been really lucky on my other ones, so we're going to try it. But what I did was I went the other day and I bought 2 sticks of 2x2 tubing, and I bought 1 sheet of 4x8 sheet of steel, and I was actually going to build the frame, and then I was going to wrap it with the steel and build a an intricate bumper for it. But it was going to just be a push bumper. It wasn't going to be anything like a off-road bumper or a winch bumper or anything like that. So anyway, I ended up with all this steel, and then I remembered I had this bumper, and I remembered that the shape was sort of like it, and I said, well, I'm going to go get it and just stick it on there and see if maybe this was for a later Topkick and they just had put the year wrong. And it was. It actually is made for one of these trucks, but this is made as a bumper cover. This is so if you bent your bumper on the U-Haul truck, this could be a replacement cover for it to hide the bend. You could just straighten it back out, and it still looked good. And I'm sure they painted them and stuff. But anyway, I'm going to stick it up on there and show you what it looks like. I've already cut 2 pieces of steel, 7'4", and what we're going to do is we're going to come in where this tapers back, and we're going to cut it and pie cut it, and we're going to bend both of these back, and we're going to build a frame that pretty much a bumper that this sits over top of. But it's going to be, it don't have to be a really nice looking bumper or anything like that. It can just be something that supports it good, and then we'll bolt this to it, and should work out good. I mean, it should be a lot less work. I'm going to end up using 1 stick of steel instead of 2. So, I had 40 foot of steel, 2 20-foot sticks, so I'm just going to use 1. I'll have a 2x2 stick left over, and I'll have the full sheet of steel left over. So, it's going to work out good. And, instead of paying $600 for a bumper, I want to say I gave $120, $130 for that bumper. So, as for a truck bumper, that's not bad. I mean, that's cheap. But, like I said, I was just checking the angle on this before I done it, and I think it's about 12 degrees. See if I can get this to come back on. 16 degrees, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a 16 degree. So it's not much, but we'll mark it out and do our steel the same way. And we'll pie cut it out and get it bent back. But I'm going to stick this on there real quick just to show you what it looks like. Okay, not the best looking bumper, but it does look like a push bumper for a wrecker. So I'm going to do the supports, and it'll be raised up just a little bit. We can probably do away with a lot of this crack in between it, but it's sort of going to look like that. Now both ends are bowed down because it's just sitting on top of the frame rails right here in the front. So, but anyway, it's going to look better than it looked without a bumper. It's going to save me a bunch of time. It's going to save me a bunch of money. If I had the time, I would go on and build one, but this is going to work out fine. It'll look good enough for what I need, and get me rolling quicker. So I'm going to get this frame built for it, and we'll start getting it where we need it to go. I think I can actually go up a little higher to open the hood and check, and maybe cut out right here to where these hinges, this is on the outside of these hinges. So we'll do a little modifying on it, a little changing, but try to get it tucked up in there good and see how she looks. Okay folks, I'm going to show you what I'm doing here to try to figure out how much we need to cut out for the pie cut. Now this is 2-inch pipe, so I've just laid out a 2-inch grid here. That's just a, you know, temporary grid. And what I'm doing is I'm putting the edge of my angle finder where the actual angle starts, right at the edge of my 2-inch mark. And then I go to the other end, and with this little scale, I'm measuring at the 2-inch mark up, and I'm getting, okay, we're getting 5/8 of an inch total from the edge of the line to the edge of the angle finder. So if we take a 5-inch cut, or 5/8, I'm sorry, inch cut out, and we should be able to bend this and get it, it should be very close. And what we'll do, you know, it'll be wherever our bend line is, you know, we'll go to each side of it. Okay, what we've got is I just went ahead and turned it, and I put another line on it, and I'm going to show you another way of doing this. But what you can do is half of 5/8 is 3.125, so you can come out 3.125 on each side of this line. Okay, and that'll get our 16-degree pie cut. Now the other way that you can do this is take this, put it on spot, and then rotate it and come to 8 degrees, which is half of 16, and there you go. You basically got the same distance here as what you would have. So you can do it either way. And so we'll draw out, you know, 2 8-degree lines, or measure them out however, and then that's what we'll cut out of it. And we'll bring the lines down, and then we'll trace the 2 lines across. We'll cut it with a plasma cutter, so it's not going to be perfect, but we're just trying to get it close. Alright. Okay, so here's what we're going to cut out. And, you know, I could do it neater with a cut-off saw or cut-off wheel, but we're not too worried about that. You know, this is not going to be ever seen anyway, so we'll go ahead and get her cut, see if we can get it bent, and then we'll check our angle, make sure it's 16. Alright. Okay folks, here's our piece we cut out, and on the hot, and then there it is. And I'm going to hold it with my feet because I want to hold it all the way closed. So there it is, closed up. You can see I didn't do a perfect job cutting, but anyway. And here's our 16 degrees, and yeah, it looks like we're a little off, just a little bit. It goes back perfect. So anyway, that'll work for us. But that's how you can cut an angle and get it exactly what you want it. So we'll go ahead and knock these other 3 out and weld this up, and then we'll be able to get our frame bolted together. Okay folks, I'm impressed. I'm going to show you something I haven't seen in a long time. 2x2 square tubing, made in USA. I'm amazed. I've bought steel from this company for years, and I've never seen anything but China steel come from that place. Okay folks, we've got them done. We've got them welded up here. They sit together just perfect. No more than half a degree off. I mean, they're really good. And so what we're going to do now is I want this 10 inches tall, and these are 2 inches each, so I'm going to cut some 6-inch pieces and put between them and get it all level and straight and everything. And then once we get that done, we'll weld them in, and then we can probably start mounting the bumper on this part anyway. And then, like I said, the other part's going to go over it. I've got some bolts I'm going to try to use. These are bumper bolts, but they're bumper bolts out of a Model T. But they're the right length. There's a couple longer, well, 2 short ones and 4 long ones there. And I'm hoping I've got some more, because I'm going to probably put more than 6 in it. But this is to hold the fiberglass onto the truck, and that'll give us a little bit of area. And we'll drill it right through that 2-inch tubing, and so it'll come through the tubing and, you know, get bolted on. And we'll do that, you know, probably, let me see, I'd like to get 8 of them, and if I can find 2 more, I should have 2 more around here. I'll just have to hunt them up. But anyway, let me keep at it. Okay, we got our frame on. We got it in place where I want it at. Now we got to weld it into the bumper brackets. We're going to weld it in real good, put some pieces in there. So I think it'll work out okay. And then we can put our cover on and bolt it on. I don't know if I'll get done here tonight, but I'm going to try anyway. Maybe have to get some light where I can show it to you. But anyway, that's it. And you know, it's just 2x2 square tubing. It's thick wall, but you know, anybody that thinks that that's not as strong as a stock bumper, you need to look at a stock bumper, because unfortunately they're not built out of nothing anymore. And you know, the tractor and trailer bumpers and stuff that you would think would be so strong, you know, they're really thin too. So, but yeah, that's about, you know, that'll work anyway. But I mean, like I said, that fiberglass will bust. And I did a little bit more research on the internet on this fiberglass bumper cover here, and I found the right ones for the 94. They list them as being 1993 or 94 Topkick, and they're about 80 bucks. Then I found these ones again listed as 1988 to 1994 Topkick, Chevrolet Topkick. But it's this bumper, and they want $80 for them, $70-something, $78, something like that. So yeah, I don't know why they can't seem to get the year right, because you know, it's this style, and anybody that needs one, you know, 80 bucks is dirt cheap. I didn't remember what I paid, and it was probably 120 with shipping and everything time I got it. But anyway, all right, let me get at it. Okay, folks, bumper's on. A few little things to finish up on it. I'm going to pull it back off long enough to, well, I've still got to drill 4 holes. I've got 4 bolts in it, but we're going to call it a night. But I'm going to pull it back off, and I'm going to paint that frame. You know, just paint some black on it or something so it don't rust. And then we'll get it back on. But I'm not sure what color I'm going to paint it. I'll probably paint the truck red, and that maybe that gray or silver or something. But I think once it's all together and everything, it'll look pretty good. I mean, it's not exactly perfect, but you know, it's as close as we're going to get. But and it's not fiberglass; it's some kind of plastic, and you know, it don't crack like fiberglass. You can twist it in a circle, and it comes, you know, it comes right back. So it's it reminds me of the plastic that they make a bathtub out of, but it's definitely not fiberglass. So anyway, there you go. And it's going to have to do. Save me a lot of time. Plus, I got 1 stick of that 2x2 left, and I need it anyway. And then I've still got my sheet of steel. So, you know, I've saved myself some time. So, but anybody that's got one of these, you know, that has a bent bumper, I think this thing will go over the front of it. And you know, the $80. $77, whatever it is, that's, you know, that's a deal, because that bumper is $600 to replace. And I would rather, you could paint this and put it over top of one, and I think that's actually what it's made for. That's why U-Haul uses them. And they probably just glue on or double stick tape or something like that, for all I know. But I mean, they're pretty thick. They're 1/8 inch thick at least. So you know, it's nothing that's gonna fall apart or give a lot of trouble. But anyway, looks better than not having one at all, right? All right, appreciate everybody watching. Till next time, bye.